Hi, I'm David Birks with the Salvation Army. My wife and I are currently core assisting in Mountain Home, Arkansas. A bit of my calling. I've grown up in the Salvation Army my whole entire life, and I've been in the after-school programmings that they've had. My parents have been corps officers and DHQ officers, and so I've been in and out of the Army, knowing what it's about, and I always grew up saying that I'm not going to do this. I'd rather do something else, but when I was young, God called me, and I knew that He had called me, and so I went up on stage and filled out the paperwork, and that was the last I thought of it. As soon as I got down off the stage, I could see my friends in the back snickering and laughing, and I just thought, man, it is so embarrassing to have to go up on stage for my calling, or, man, is this really what God's calling me to do? I'm too young, and I really just thought it was embarrassing. And so I didn't decide to pursue that at the time. And instead, I went to college, and I went to Francis Tuttle Technology Center, which I went there for their culinary, and I used that to run away from my calling. And I went there for about 2 years, and about the time my parents had moved to Oklahoma City, Oklahoma, I had talked to the corps officer there and said, you know, God's called me to be an officer, nothing's really gone with that. And that was about 8 years ago. When I was in college, though, I was doing college, and then I was doing Francis Tuttle, and so I had multiple things going on, and I had so much going on in my life, and running away from God's calling and not doing the right things and living for Him. And I just, one day, just broke down in my car, started crying, couldn't see the steering wheel, so I pulled over to the side, and I just broke down and said, God, what do you want me to do? What do you want for my life? I went to college, and I didn't think anything, went to my classes and didn't think anything else of that. Later that day, I got a call from my corps officer at the time, and he said, hey David, would you like to preach this Sunday? And I said, sure, why do I need to preach? And he said, well, it's Candidate Sunday, and you had told me about 3 years ago that you wanted to, you had a calling to be an officer. And since then, I've taken the bad things of my life, and I've done away with them, and I've been living for God since, and since then God has blessed me immensely. I have a beautiful wife and a beautiful daughter, and there's just such a peace in my life now, living for Him and living for Him, and living for the calling that He's called me to.